Does anybody know, does this call usually start like 5 after, 10 after? This is the first time I've actually called into this one.
This is my first time as well, so I was wondering the same thing.
I don't see any of the workstream leads on right now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey guys. Uh, I'm having some tech issues, so I'm not able
Okay.
to talk properly. Looks like the other leads aren't joining in, and I see a lot of new faces around here. Uh, do we want to do a quick round of introductions and then I'll walk through what this initiative has been about over the past few weeks? I'm also relatively new in contributing, maybe for a couple of months in this forum, but happy to walk the folks here around what we've been discussing and bring everyone up to speed. I'll kick off introductions with a quick brief about myself. I'm Rishabh. I'm a part of Oracle right now, as a part of the networking org, where we design uh, metro gear, intra and inter data center connectivity with optics, optical fiber, things like that. Prior to this, I was with AWS for close to a decade, where I designed data centers, primarily focused on mechanical and electrical equipment. Over there, I was very close to the sustainability initiative between 2020 and 2024. That's where I focused a bit more on water related sustainability and carbon. So that brought me to this initiative. And as a part of this initiative, or maybe before joining this initiative, I presented an OCP about a potential new metric that we can use for water efficiency called WEE plus. We are still iterating on that. In this initiative, what we've been doing over the past couple of months or so is coming up with a framework on what we want to deliver for the open network itself, in regard to water sustainability. So uh, we had a outline put together on what we wanted to contribute. It was mostly about best practices, decision making frameworks on what technology to use, how to approach different jurisdictions and different geographical locations based on their water sustainability levels, water availability, and a few other topics. I'm happy to share the Word doc once I get my computer fixed. Uh, and yeah, after the outline, I started writing some stuff. We've assigned owners, different sections to write up. And that's the direction we were taking. Uh, I think once everyone's up to speed, happy to hear your thoughts and see what direction we need to go in or continue along the direction that we've been going on. That's me. Ras, do you want to take it and give us a quick introduction?
Oh, sure. And thanks for jumping in. I'm sorry I missed your name on the call. So I'm Russ Wunderlich. I'm actually part of OCP Foundation staff. I'm a principal engineer here. And I'm here to listen and learn. I'm actually rewriting the spec templates and guidelines, working on our process, all in an effort to bring a higher level of standardization and quality. So I'm kind of just jumping into different work streams and projects, understanding the efforts, how I can help. Um, I'll just do a quick advertisement. There's actually a GitHub. I can paste it into the call if you care, where I'm putting all my proposed efforts, right? The templates, the guidelines, etc. And I think the other piece I'll mention is I'm also working through all of the projects to really understand what is actively being pursued in terms of contributions. So I actually have a JSON file that I'm documenting everything in, and I'm going to try to get to a point where the community can do an associativity mapping. Hey, I'm working on this. How does it relate to any other work streams or contributions? That's me.
Awesome. Thanks, Russ. Yeah, definitely paste a link. Would love to take a look.
I can I can go next. Hello. This is Megan Rakoff. I'm with Bloom Energy. We manufacture and operate solid oxide fuel cells for on-site power. And um, I believe, Rashab, you spoke with my boss, Stephen Lamb, last week, maybe on Friday. I was on PTO, but we've discovered this initiative from watching the webinar recording on WUE Plus that was happened back in October. And we're looking to get more involved. Stephen and I, Steven's not on the call, but we make up the sustainability team here at Bloom Energy, and we're really focused on our sustainability value prop for data centers, and our water consumption is a big piece of that because our systems don't use much water, only a small amount during startup and shutdown. And so we think that, this WE plus number is something that we should push forward. And we're just interested in getting involved and learning more about what's currently being done and how we can help with the initiative. And yeah, nice to meet everyone and looking forward to working with everyone.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Megan. And yeah, I had a great conversation with your boss last week. Thanks for joining in. I didn't get the opportunity to send the invite out because the invite got mixed up and cancelled. Finally, I think maybe yesterday this came back on board, so I was just about to send it to your folk.
Great. Yeah, it got forwarded to me somehow, so I'm
Oh,
glad to be here.
awesome. Welcome. Going down the list. Oh, my list keeps changing. Clarky, would you like to go next?
Oh, hi. My name is Young Clark, and I'm with Watts Water Technologies. So we are an end-to-end solution provider for hydronic cooling, ranging from critical components such as control valves to leak detection system, TS tanks, and also treatment solutions for closed loop and cooling towers without chemicals. So Watts is one of the most sustainable companies because we are a water company. And so I'm here to learn more about what the industries are looking for, how we might be able to help. So it's nice to be
Awesome.
here.
Welcome, Young.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh, Next up, Jessica Liston.
Yeah, sure. Hey guys. I'm Jessica. I'm actually not on the tech side. I work for an organization called Resilient Water Accelerator, and it's a nonprofit that does a fair amount of trying to figure out water resilience in a variety of different markets and try to increase financing for those water resilient solutions. And anyway, we're kind of at early stages of looking into getting into data centers. And so mostly I'm here to learn more about what's kind of on the cutting edge of water efficiency in data centers and help provide from the kind of water sector any insights that can give as well. So yeah, great to be here. Nice to meet you guys.
Awesome. Thanks for joining in, Jessica. Johanna DeCortis Smith.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all here. My name is Joanna Dakota Smith. Like Jessica, I am also more from the water side of things. I also work for a nonprofit called the Alliance for Water Efficiency. We are a national scope nonprofit that works to advance water efficiency and conservation from a data and research perspective and also from an advocacy perspective from the US and Canada. So I have been coming to these meetings for a little while. I have spoken with Rashad before in the context of these meetings. Just been here trying to learn a little more about the technical side of data centers and how water currently factors into their designs and operation. My team at the Alliance for Water Efficiency has also been putting together what we're kind of calling in draft form a data center primer. Not the most interesting title, but it is written with water utilities, water providers in mind. We are member based, and the majority of our members are water utilities or water agencies of some sort, in addition to private companies, other nonprofits, governmental organizations, things like that. And so we have drafted this primer. It basically talks about, I think for you all, what would be very basic kind of topics about data centers, but is not always well understood in the water sector. So we're in the process of putting that together, and I'm here to learn and to provide some perspective from the water utility side of things.
Awesome. Thanks, Joanna. Who else is in this list? Sakul Gupta. Do you want to give us a quick introduction?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm a firmware security engineer, work for Micron, and looking at uh, sustainable aspects for our memory, DRAM, HBM. So yeah, wanted to see that how I could contribute over here. Thank you.
Thanks, Sakul. Oh, Derek is here. Hey, Derek.
Yeah, hey, sorry about that. It's been nonstop work for a bit. Yeah, sorry. We just got this rescheduled and restarted up again. Thanks, Rashab.
We are doing quick introductions because he saw a bunch of new faces out here. Do you want to give a quick introduction?
So yeah, Derek Kanekis. I'm a responsible business manager with Vertiv, one of the co-leads on this group. We got quite far leading up to the holidays, and then November things fell off a bit. Mainly with some big projects, I think, for both me and some other folks. But looking forward to engaging people moving forward on this.
Awesome. I see one more person. Manish, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I'm Manish. I'm working at Lenovo as a advisory firmware engineer. So basically, I'm working at the manageability side, BMC based bed management controller side. Before that, I was working for Intel OpenBMC project, and before that, I was part of it. Where I was working mostly power data center level power management product related to sustainability and water efficiency. Recent 2025 OCP, we and my colleague, we had presented sustainable software design and then one unit testing framework, two topics. And considering I'm embedded engineer and working with the manageability, I'm looking forward as there is a traction around water cooling servers and all. So with my prior experience and then with uh, all together as a team, I wanted to see like how we can contribute and learn from this initiative. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for introducing yourself. Manish, Derek, do you want to give a brief on what we've been up to over the past few months?
Sure. Yeah, my role is actually very much in the energy wastewater efficiency in our operations. So my background is academics. I was a professor for about 18 years. I've shifted into ESG, corporate ESG work. What we've been doing is looking at rolling out a facility maturity model globally across our global footprint now. Since we are a company that's quite decentralized, we're trying to align a lot of our energy efficiency at the production level and then working with our engineers at the product level to start tracking embedded carbon and hopefully into the future embedded water as well. But last couple of months has been trying to roll out this maturity model.
Awesome. I'm trying to share a link to this document that we've been putting together.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well. I was trying to look at the resources that we had put together.
I found the link. I'm dropping it in here.
Great. I have access to it. Can other folks access it through the chat?
Yes, I can see the links, but
Great.
yes.
So we pulled together this outline is where we left off. I think, Rashad, was there anything else that moved forward when this got crowded off my calendar?
Uh, I started working on the sections that I took ownership for, and I put drafts in the tab below. Well, let me pick up the screen real quick and show you what it looks like.
Yeah, I saw some activity.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the outline that we came up with over the past month or so, or past couple of months. We assigned leads to each of these section. First one, Derek was taking a dig. Second was Khalid, who isn't in this call but joined in some of our previous calls. Third is where me and Eli and other uh, engineer took up scope. Similarly, we figured what we need to contribute to the open compute ecosystem in terms of water sustainability and decision making, and we came up with this framework. Over the past month or so, through the holiday season, I had someone else put a draft. Section 3, I was primarily taking ownership for cooling technology selection. So, what are the different types of technologies that exist in the ecosystem? How do you choose which technology to use in which climatic area? What are the trade-offs to consider, and what are other options for you to reduce impact of water or improve sustainability through technology solutions is what I wanted to cover. And I put together a draft here for the sections that I was responsible for. Uh, we wanted to, I was hoping the team can take a look at this, provide comments, and see what we need to improve on, change, and so on. Looks like, Joanna, did you put this together or Derek, did you?
It was
I
me.
think it's Joanna.
Okay, looks like she's put in some stuff on the accounting and emerging regulatory framework on this too. So we should probably do the same. But we have a wider body of work that we want to cover over time.
And just for everybody else, the framework of this is to be able to touch on different scales and points of system deployment. So technology within data centers, regulatory requirements, looking at geography that might require different technological solutions, and then be able to understand, be able to present across kind of knowledge systems and functional activities, how those interact.
Maybe we'll give everyone a couple of minutes to go through this and then come back with questions or thoughts. Can everyone access this document? It sounded like Megan was able to, and this is the first time she's joining, so she probably was. This is probably still open to everyone.
Yeah, I
Um,
was able to get in.
okay, let's take a couple of minutes, go through this, come back at the top of the hour, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Unless, Derek, you had something in mind for today.
No, I think that's fine. There are definitely a lot of new faces. Is this a beginning of the year phenomenon, or have people just been adding for the last couple of months that I haven't been able to attend?
I think the meeting invite fell off the calendar end of the season, end of last year, and this is the first call we're having this year.
Okay,
And
that's great.
I guess it's a beginning of the year phenomenon.
We are framing this again for the group as sort of a best practices, considerations to have in mind rather than technical specs. So walking through the logic of technology deployment.
All right, let's take a few minutes. Let's come back at the top of the hour. Feel free to drop in comments here. I'm not sure if you're able to drop comments in, but okay, looks like I am. If you have any questions, and we can review them. Uh, if you are interested in picking up or supporting in some of these areas where you have expertise in or have uh, the capability to contribute, chime in as well, and we are happy to add you in. Or if there are recommendations for additional sections that we ought to be covering through this initiative, happy to include that too. All right, I'll stop sharing my screen and we'll take a few minutes. Do you all get a chance to go through the document? Do you want some more time?
Are there any questions on it?
So in terms of definitions and scope, that's all section 4. So if I were to ask, where do I look to get the industry definition of water usage? That's section 4.
That is a question, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry if I didn't do the uptick at the end there.
That's okay. That's okay. Just a little on the intonation there. Yeah. So question 4 came out of an interest in a couple aspects. The scale of water accounting so how do we look at embedded water in products was part of it, and that would be some of the definition and the boundary issues. We had quite a bit of discussion, again, in different industries, different different functional groups have different definitions. So obviously WE and variants of it are discussed here explicitly. And then those of us who are in the ESG function, we look at embodied water, and and that's still kind of evolving in terms of what boundaries are included in that. So that would be all the definitions would be there, and discussions on how those definitions are evolving over time. So the upstream attribution, and then how do you include things like water quality, on-site, and in use?
And did I hear that there was some aspect of grading that is included here?
Not for me. I don't think we've discussed that. I think this is more definitional and state of play. Rashab, was there a discussion I missed where there was or what are you thinking, Russ, grading in terms of site specific, as in?
Yeah. So, sorry, there's a jumble of questions running around in my head. One of there's a lot of news, air quotes, right? News on data center water usage. Mm-hmm. And so that definition, I think from an OCP standpoint, is important. Hey, what really is water usage? And then I don't know if WE is your metric or what but I didn't know if there was some intent to, so this is a white paper, right? Not a spec. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I didn't know if there was some intent that this is setting the stage for any type of rating or efficiency metrics.
Yeah, so there's another white paper that another subgroup. Oh, Rashab, remind me, please. This has been months now, and I've had a dozen projects since. There's another white paper that just came out through OCP, where they were working on WE metrics with a industry partner as part of a way for actually rating data centers.
Okay. Maybe that was from DSEM or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was another workstream per se. Green Grid was in this meeting and they were in conversation with us.
Correct.
On what scope of work they were doing and how we could collaborate. I'm not sure how they joined the meeting, but they were curious on what our efforts were. But I've not seen them from the one call that they joined as well. So
Green Grid did come out with a white paper. Thank you. That was the reminder I needed. Green Grid. So I invited Green Grid to join because part of it was, are we asking the right questions that the industry needs? So we considered bringing a couple of the rating agencies, the rating organizations that look at certification of data centers. Whether LEED does have a data center sustainability certification, Green Grid is considered more advanced and more industry specific. So we invited Green Grid to attend to see if they would be an industry partner. They're the ones who just came out with. I'm see if I'm going to find that right now. I do have a link somewhere on this. So Green Grid just came out with a standard on water use efficiency that was more aligned with industry partners that they would work with explicitly. So based on that, rather than do a rating standard, we decided to do a broader look at best practices.
Got it. Thank you.
Rather than duplicate. If I can find that link for you.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at their press release on the November 3rd of last year. Yeah, from there.
Yeah, it should have been. It was several months ago. What date do you have? December?
This press release is November 3rd of 25.
That sounds right. Is this the water? Let's see. Yeah, I'll get a link for this. I think this is the piece. The date. Oh, that's quite old. Sorry. Do you have the? It's also there's a 2011 original WE piece, but there should be a more recent. There we go. I'll share that. We probably do need a forum to share information that's more efficient potentially than a Google Doc.
So is the plan to use the Green Grid scoring, or I guess, is it a scoring methodology, or yeah, it looks like it's a scoring calculator, to kind of shape this best practices document, or how are those going to work together?
I think our idea was to fill the gaps where the scoring method, whatever the scoring method was not including, it was to fill the gaps. It's as explicit as we got in discussion with Green Grid is let's not duplicate. Green Grid was about to release a month or so after we connected with them. So the idea was let's look at Green Grids and then fill whatever gaps we think that either data center operators or siting folks needed. If anybody has the Green Grid method, please share it. I have lots of press releases about it, but I can't find the doc itself.
Well, where I ended up, you have to have an account to access it.
Okay.
I think they have guest accounts. They just haven't done that.
Yeah, haven't been in a while. Okay, great.
Yeah, so has there been analysis done of the difference between this one, the Green Grid number, and the WE plus number?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I should be able to pull it though. I have an account. I should be able to get in and pull it and then share with the group. Jump in. Let me take a little while. Sorry, not at the office today. Maybe take a little while to find it. So I would probably the next steps for those of us who are actively engaged in the drafts. I would suggest anybody on the call now take a look and see if they want ownership of a section or want to join with drafting part of a section. And then I think we all need to go through the Green Grid white paper and make sure there's no duplication, or if there is, it's providing a different context from what they already have. Are there other ideas?
Hi Eric, I'm Manish here. I have one question related to 2.6 section, monitoring, control, and resilience.
Mhm.
So here, cooling distribution unit also part of this particular. I see the online sensors and all. So this is also scope of that, or I just wanted to understand that particular sensor, being I'm from server manageability.
I don't remember the specifics on that. I don't think that was one that I was directly involved in. It just looks like my Green Grid membership has expired at the end of the year, so I'll have to get that later. I don't remember the specifics on that section at the moment.
Okay,
Sorry
yeah,
about
because
that.
Which
yeah,
one, Manish? 2.6?
yeah, because I think cooling distribution unit generally takes the water cooling for server subsystem, and yeah, so that 2.6 of monitoring, control, and then resilience. I see SCADA and some online sensors. So I'm just wondering, like, cooling CDU is also being scope of that particular section.
Uh, it's more about the water system for the site itself. The cooling distribution unit doesn't determine what the, how do you say, water consumption impact on the cooling distribution is typically part of a closed unit, which is a secondary loop, right? So this doesn't refer to the cooling distribution unit specifically. It's more the primary, which is the air cooled chillers, water cooled chillers, and that side of the system.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, looks like Derek had to drop. We'll put together a plan of attach for next meeting and get the green grid docs to share. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions or thoughts on the document itself?
Can you share your thoughts on the timeline here? I mean, there's a lot of good content here and looks like there's a lot of work to be done. So I was just curious.
Last year when we were discussing, we thought first half of this year we'll target publishing this. But we didn't have any firm timelines in place, and we knew last year we were just wrapping up the year when we came up with the final draft for this. So that's something that's still up for debate, or there's no clear timelines, firm timelines at least. But through Q1 and Q2, we want to put a couple of drafts together, firm up a draft, and publish it if possible.
Okay, thank you.
Is anyone feeling particularly passionate on picking up a section or contributing to one of these sections? I know we have a list of folk already listed here, but happy to include y'all if interested.
Yeah, I think based on you know, Bloom and our background, I think we would be very interested in getting involved with section 3.5. And possibly a couple others as well. I'll have to get back to you on that. But definitely 3.5.
5. I'll just add your name in here, Megan.
Yes.
Embodied water and energy and materials, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just add today's date and just where.
And I'll get back to you on other sections. I want to review this with my team and um, get some more questions together.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Uh,
Rishabh, I think I need to go back. I'll review this document again. I'm interested. I just want to see like which sections I can contribute appropriately considering my background. So I'll just will it be possible? It is possible, like next meeting I can share,
Yeah,
and
of
then
course.
yeah,
You can take the
because
week or so to review this, put your
yeah,
thoughts around it, and then happy to review
yeah,
next week.
sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. All right, if that's all, we can wrap up today's call and we can regroup in the next one. Last call, anyone, any questions or any things you want to bring up?
I just wanted to quickly gauge interest. I had mentioned when I introduced myself that our nonprofit, water efficiency focused nonprofit, has put together a data center primer that's meant to be for a water utility audience. And it is very high level on the technical side, I would say. But I think we would appreciate someone with that technical background around cooling technologies. And we don't delve too far into water use and energy. I mean, we mentioned it, but anyone who has maybe a more technical background on the data center side who might be interested in taking a look at it and making sure it makes sense and it's correct, that the water folks didn't totally misinterpret everything on the technical side of things. That would be great. I would say just let me know if you're interested here in the chat, or you can shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat, and then
Are
if
you
you're interested
referring
in taking a
to?
look, let me know.
I can take a look, Joanna.
Okay, thanks.
Is this in reference to the 1.6 section that you wrote up, or is this separate?
No, this is separate. This is something that our organization had been working on kind of in tandem,
Mhm.
and seeing how this document was shaping up did help me think about what needs to be explained to the water community, because there's just a lot of confusion and misinformation, I would say, about how water is used and how decisions are made. So from the water perspective, I think it would be nice once this document is kind of more fully formed to just have some context about which variables or which elements go into the decision making about which cooling technologies you pair with one another, which ones you choose for certain climates, how
Got
you
it.
account for all of that. I think for the water folks, that would be helpful information.
Yeah, I'm happy to take a look. I've dropped my email ID in. Feel free to shoot me the material and we can connect offline.
Okay, thanks.
Uh, All right. Thanks everyone for joining the call. We'll reconnect in our next call. And in the meantime, take a look at the doc. If there's anything else you want to bring up for next call or are actively wanting to contribute in sections, uh, let's talk next week. If there's anything else, feel free to reach out to me offline as well. Happy to chat. Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.